Can we hear it start up?
Sure can.
So it's a one-piece tilt front end now.
It's a 66 Fairlane.
This is my office right here.
Hi, Randy Bybee, Awesome Cars Forever. I'm here today with Dennis Bronner, and he's going to tell us about his 1963 Le Mans.
Okay, bought this car probably 30-something years ago from a guy named Jim Wright in Elwood for $125, and probably $25,000 later, it's done.
Well worth it though.
Yeah, it's a fun car. I get a lot of attention to it because of it, because this car is a John DeLorean design, and it's got a rear transaxle and a front engine. It's a 2-speed Tempest torque. The color is Marlin Aqua. It'd be Q1 in the books, and it's the original color. Car comes with a floor shift, which is kind of odd. It has a instead of being in the dash, it's on the floor, and that's a factory part. It has a tachometer all the way to the right. The interior is pretty much original, other than the carpet and some places I just had it repaired.
So this is the original interior for the most part?
Most of the interior, the back seat, all the seats, I had a couple of pieces replaced, like here and here, and the bead. And
okay.
Maxwell's and Anderson did it for me. And they just real good guys to work with. The engine is a well, it says on the front here 326. It's actually a 336 cubic inch, and I've been told over the years that, and I had the paperwork to show it, they didn't make a 326, they made a 336, and Chevrolet said you're not putting a bigger engine in that car than we have in our Corvette. So
that stands to reason.
Yeah, they just called it a 326. It's got actually more horsepower than the Corvette had. It's 2 barrels 260 horse, 4 barrels 280, and I think the 327 was 250 then. That's the original engine for the car. Has power brakes, power steering. So I went with radial tires. The windshield I didn't replace because it's a tinted windshield, and I've never seen another one with a tinted windshield.
Really?
It's just clear windshields, but I rarely ever see any of these cars.
And it's lightly tinted too. I mean, it's not, yeah.
It's a blue, so leave it alone.
Sure.
Those Pontiacs are awful good about, these old Pontiacs are awful good about their trunk space.
A lot of room in there.
If you get 2 or 3 people in there in an old drive-in, I think you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
They call these the Baby GTO. I found out a lot of the stuff from, there's a club called the Little Indians,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just 61 to 63 when these were built. They changed this body style, made it a little bit bigger in 63. If you look at the taillights, the next year they made the 64, it was actually, they made the GTO.
Right.
But the taillights, if you look, they're similar to a 64 GTO. The gauges actually will bolt into a 64 GTO, the same gauges. And it's been a fun car to have. Pontiac accents on it. There's the arrowhead and the spears, the tomahawks on the fenders.
Right.
Would have liked to, yeah, we were talking about this the other day. Would have liked to have had an Indian head for the bright light, because they used to do that, but I wish they would have done on this. My dad had a Pontiac when I was a kid, and
Be nice if you could find one though, maybe.
yeah, well, that's that dash. You just can't
Yeah.
put it in there.
Can we hear it start up?
Sure can.
What have you done to the motor? I mean,
We pulled the engine out, rebuilt the engine. It really didn't need much, but we went ahead and rerung it and put new bearings and everything in it. My brother-in-law, Larry Spooner, came over. He put it together for me. I had it a ballpark, but he put it together. He used to do mechanic work. That's when we found out that it was a 336, because I bought 326 rings and they just fell through the cylinders holes. And I thought
Really?
somebody's bored this thing out.
That-
And I
yeah.
found out they actually did that year. The transaxle, I took it apart and put it together, and it actually moved the car, but there was something wrong, so I took it to pull the transmission out because they didn't want to try it. And they found a cracked gasket and the modulator was bad. So they fixed that, and it's run great ever since. These cars have a drive shaft in an enclosure with rubber carrier bearings that is 6 foot 10.5 inches long. No universal joints. The universal joints are on your axles, like the Vets, the Corvairs. And the torque converter spins behind the rear axle. I have guys crawl under this car. There was 5 guys laying under this car one time. They said, "You need to get something for people to lay on." I said, "I'm not going to put anything down. It's just grass."
Yeah.
I didn't make them do it. So
Yeah.
anyway, they were just shaking their head and pointing. But you can see that torque converter spinning back there.
What muffler are you?
I just put turbo mufflers on there.
Turbo. Okay. No,
Not real loud.
Not real. But it's a nice mellow
Just
tone.
a nice tone. It just purrs going down
Right.
the road. It drives nice. It drives good. The theory was on the drive shaft that they don't need a big drive shaft because the drive shaft doesn't have any torque. They said it's the rear axles. Well, that's not true.
That's not true. 326s
They had
were a
lot
bit
of
torquey.
torque. They had a lot of torque. One thing he was trying to do was make a car that was balanced. Because if you look, there's not much of a hump in there. And he had the weight from this back here and in the engine, so it would be a balanced.
Yeah, you're right.
And
There's
it does.
not.
It'll go down the road and it'll just kind of go like this. It doesn't bounce in the front. Like
Right.
A lot of heavier cars.
Well, this is one beautiful automobile.
Rocker panels, and that's it. The rest I had to learn how to, well, make panels, make the stuff for it.
Right.
And I'm still looking. If anybody looks at this video, in my book they had a speaker in the back seat, like the Chevys had, but I have never found one. And I'd take it over to Maxwell's and let them do the upholstery work, and I'd have me a chrome speaker back to the factory that I have never seen.
On the YouTube, there's a place for comments on the show, and they can, anyone that can help you out with that can leave a comment and tell you where you might be able to find one, or they can send it to me. If they want to keep everything private, they can send it to me, and then I can get the message to you. But there is a place to leave comments on there. So, well, listen, this is a really awesome car. I mean, I really appreciate the interview.
I appreciate you having interest in coming out and doing here.
I appreciate everyone watching today and all my subscribers. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you again next time on Awesome Cars Are Forever. Thanks.